Hello, this is Tom. I'm the co-creator along with my friend and ex-colleague James Harris of the Vol Vision Matrix. Vol, as it's largely based upon our own proprietary calculations of real-time underlying volume and volatility. Vision, as it's designed to be a visual analytical tool. And Matrix, as we think this is the clearest format to look for correlations and setups across the markets that we cover. But crucially, our analysis is always before the event, so before a move takes place. What we've built are real-time analytical tools that are based upon when James and I worked together as market makers on the same desk, and our hand at times was forced to increase or decrease positions or exposure, to hedge or exit positions entirely. And so we think of our calculations as pressure points. And they are represented in the system by three different but distinct things, and I'll quickly go through them in the order of importance. So number one, the most important, vol, highlighted here. This represents to us when we are looking for an expansion of volatility and a directional move, but crucially after this signal comes in and we see it in the system. Number two, secondly, is MOM, which stands for momentum. And what we're doing is we're matching up the MOM signals with the volatility, and we're using the MOM as potential entry, exit, and targets. And the third thing is pressure, denoted by POS for positive or NEG for negative. And all this is really showing us is when the system has picked up that there is potentially something unusual in the price action going on at that particular time in the market, and just that certain candle or bar, if you like, may have some significance. The codes that we've built to display these pressure points are based on underlying maths alone. So I should state that there is no element of technical analysis of any description in our calculation. So if people are seeing things match up with, I don't know, various different tools they might use, market profile, fibs, support resistance, whatever, this is a coincidence, but may be notable. Simply put, in lay terms, the market spits out billions and billions of letters at us all day, every day. Much of the time these can be dismissed, but when our code picks up what it sees as a coherent sentence by these random letters, it populates them in the matrix. The system is not just for people here in the UK or European time zones, it's for anyone in the world. And so I hope to be able to demonstrate this by showing you a couple of very quick pre-prepared examples. So if I go to the FX page, and you can see here, Aussie dollar, US dollar, 3:30 a.m. this morning, UK time, and although that's not relevant to me, if you're one of my friends in Australia, that is the middle of the day for you. And say we'll also do sterling yen, which is at 2:30 in the morning, UK time, again, not relevant to me, but if you're a friend in Japan, that is mid-morning for you. So what I want to know firstly, this came in at 3:30, did and when momentum, when did that come in? So if I look to the right on the log, it should be here somewhere. There it is, Aussie dollar, US dollar, I've highlighted it. The momentum came in at 4:51. So we know the vol came in 3:30. This came in after that at 4:51. So if I go to the chart, Aussie dollar, and I've already put the lines on here, the red line represents the two red lines represent the vol area, which came in around 3:30, and the two black horizontal lines represent the MOM area. So if I go to a short-term chart, say the 3-minute, and I go to 4:51, that is here. So it's just two lines in and around the last few minutes of the most recent range. And framework and process are as follows. Below the vol lines, below this bottom red line, or above that, I'm looking to take action. Below this line, I am short, sell short only. Above the vol line at the top, I am buy long only. And if I want further confirmation as to that position, I'm looking at the MOM. So below here, I'm definitely short. And you can see actually it comes back and retests it and then goes. That is our framework, and that is our process. It is designed by us to reduce ambiguity as much as possible and to eradicate emotion. On that subject, I'll say a few things about the word discipline, because it does come up quite a lot in our business, but few people seem to go much deeper than that, or to try to qualify what this means or how to apply it. To us, it is not telling ourselves to be disciplined every day. While this may be a worthy thought, it's simply not practical in the long run. It is not the case that many of the greatest traders and investors James and I have worked with in banks and funds over the past 20 years or so are inherently disciplined as individuals, as human beings. It's often quite the opposite. They have been some of the most eccentric and undisciplined characters that you could ever meet, but they are not stupid. So why are they so successful? Well, it's for the same reason that the likes of Mr. Warren Buffett says, I'm only smart around spots, and I stick to those spots. The answer is they have a rigid, consistent framework and process that works for them, and they stick to it. They may not actually be very disciplined as people, but it's of no consequence to their performance, as their framework and their process, by its very nature, enforces qualities like discipline. So the ultimate goal at first to achieve these kind of things is to have a framework and a process that, for the most part, eliminates ambiguity in terms of direction, decision making, entry requirements and so forth, stops, whatever. And secondly, that will follow on to eventually becoming eradicating emotion, because it's binary. I am sell short only. There's no picking bottoms anywhere, ever. It's that straightforward. Now let's have a quick look at sterling yen. That came in 2:30 this morning. When did the momentum signal come in? So it came in here. I'll highlight it. Sterling yen, that came in at 4:42. So a couple of hours after the original vol signals, you had to wait. 4:42. Let's go to the sterling yen chart. These are all the four charts, the various time frames. So if I go to 4:42, we know that the vol signal is already in, came in hours before that. 4:42 is there. As you can see, I've already put on the lines for the most recent range. So again, binary. Above, we're in the middle, but above this line, buy long only when this comes in. First target is the above vol line. See what happens when it gets above it. I mean, here to here is only 20 points. Here to here is the red line to the most recent high is about 50 points. From here to here is about 80 points. I mean, it's not for us to tell people how to run risk. That is a personal decision based on an individual and their comfort zones, their pockets, and the time frames that they wish to look at markets on. But if you wish to see precisely how I apply these vol and momentum levels once they come in, please do watch the next short user video where I'll go through the exact process we use. It's very straightforward. Following on from that, there are free trials available, so anyone can sign up for that and be a judge for themselves. But ultimately, our primary hope is that this kind of process and framework can do for other people what over the years it's done for James and I, and it's simply that you will never look at another market or analyze another chart in the same way ever again.